As a Vikings fan, with the recent hires of Kevin O'Connell for the Vikings' new head coach and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah as the team's new general manager, I've got questions. I think just like the rest of you do. My biggest question is, what's next? What's next with the Minnesota Vikings offensive line? We have seen this thing been coming together. It's been coming together for the last couple of years. Hopefully I'll get my grammar correct at some point today. But overall, the question now becomes, okay, what's next? What's next with this offensive line that I have been dying. I just want a respectable offensive line. I don't want Drew Samia to be able to get bench pressed into the middle of next week by, who was it, Jeffrey Simmons? Or I can't remember who it was. But I'm just so sick and tired of watching this offensive line just struggle and watching Kirk Cousins just stand behind there just looking afraid for his life because he knows that at some point the opposing team is going to get through, and it's just and it's not like my biggest issue with the Vikings is it's not like they haven't put any draft stock into it over the last couple of years. I mean, you talk about there has been so many things. I can't even think of all of them off the top of my head. We'll just spit out a couple. Okay, you got Brian O'Neill, what was it, a couple of years ago, and that was a second-round draft pick. You got guys like Ezra Cleveland, another second-round draft pick, who's panning out. I'm very happy with both of those players, don't get me wrong. They're both panning out and being very good draft picks. But you also got, whether it was Willie Beavers or TJ Clemmings, it's just not good. It's not good. You also got Christian Darrisaw this last year, who I'll admit is also looking really good. So, again, also Garrett Bradbury, first-round draft pick, that's going to look like a bust at this point. So it's like, okay, you have three players right now in Christian Darrisaw, Ezra Cleveland, and Brian O'Neill, who, okay, 3 out of 5 players that are building up your offensive line. You like it. Okay, what's next? Who and how are they going to fill these last 2 positions? But then I stopped myself. I said, Self, I think you need to calm down because Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, hopefully I say his name right half of the time, they both have experience building their offensive lines, especially, in my mind, the interior. You talk about Austin Corbett for the Rams this last year, Andrew Whitworth, who they brought in to be able to come in and play. And let's not forget that Kwesi helped build one of the best offensive line in Jedrick Wells Jr., Joel Bitonio, J.C. Treader, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin, who was a great signing by him, by the way, or by the Browns. Well, by the Browns, I'm sorry. But overall, this is one of those things where they have, and again, you saw the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Rams both put in stock, both put in a lot of capital to their offensive lines, and it works out. Now, it's also a balance here of first-round draft picks, middle of the pack round guys, but also guys that come in and that are either not drafted or first-round draft picks. There's a healthy balance here, and that's the one thing I love about it the most is there is just so much here that you really like about how they built those offensive lines. It's not all just first round draft picks, which is apparently all the Vikings know how to do. Second round draft picks, that seem to make these guys out. So it's like, okay, there is a healthy balance between draft picks, investing first through third round draft picks. And by the way, I'll say this and then I'll get off my high horse. Wyatt Davis, the fact that he didn't play a single snap this last year was so frustrating. I mean, for all we know, we may have the Vikings starting right guard sitting on the bench. We don't know. He is Schrodinger's right guard, excuse me. We have no idea. He could absolutely be a Hall of Famer, an All-Pro, a Pro Bowler, and we would have not the foggiest. We would not have a clue. And it's frustrating because it's like there was a time when Oli Udoh was just getting his lunch handed to him. First 3 games of the season, All-Pro. Was playing like an All-Pro, playing like a Pro Bowler. You love to see it. But then after that, I don't know. I think, and then they tried him at left tackle. That was a disaster as well. He's a good backup offensive lineman. He's going to find a career in that regard. I just don't think he's a starter in this league. But again, it comes down to the fact that it's just like, you had so much talent. And also you got Mason Coldvale out, the whole Garrett Bradbury miss there. So it's like, okay. But again, I had to come back and realize, Colton, both of this head coach and general manager have experience at rebuilding offensive lines. I mean, Kwesi literally just helped build the best offensive line in football, both for running the football and with Kevin Stefanski. So it's like, okay, I have full confidence in both Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah to be able to finish building offensive line. I truly believe these two will be able to. There's only 2 spots. Again, we've covered it. I'm really willing to say that Ezra Cleveland is it. I'm willing to say obviously Brian O'Neill is it, but overall I'm willing to say that Christian Darrisaw is the man. So we have 3 offensive line positions that are buckled down. Okay. What's next? Where do we go from here? I think, again, you got to try Wyatt Davis out at right guard. You could, again, 4 out of 5 positions that we have, and you know, it's frustrating. Again, we could have the starting right guard on the Vikings right now. Put Wyatt Davis in, and let's see what this man can do. As for center, I mean, Mason Cole was serviceable. So if we can re-sign him, I think his contract is up. Or if we can somehow keep Mason Cole, I believe, I think we've got an offensive line. I think we've got it rolling. And if we want to draft another center, I'm cool with that too. But at the end of the day, I have full confidence in Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah that they will finish building this Minnesota Vikings offensive line, and I'm pumped for it. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. In the description down below, you'll find all of our social media platforms, so give us a like and a follow there. Also, remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put in the comment section down below, and we would love to cover it. But let us know what you guys think about Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, who will finish building this Minnesota Vikings offensive line.